Hi everyone, welcome to Dave's Bonsai. On today's episode, spring break is almost over, but I did manage a short little trip. Welcome into the passive solar green frame, everyone. The sun is out, temps into the 40s again today after our crazy 3 days of snow a few days back. We got over a foot of snow and all, and rain, and even maybe a thunder boomer somewhere in there. I don't remember. It was kind of a crazy spring break. And you know, most people go somewhere for spring break. Somewhere warm, somewhere tropical, like laying out in the sun on the beach and all that. Not in the plans for this week for my family or I, so we had to stay close for a staycation. But hey, I got a lot of things done in the passive solar green frame, so pretty exciting. All the trees been waking up for quite a while now in the PSGF. One of a few of my Japanese maples in the glorious sunshine really opening up. One of my many larch, love and life in the PSGF, really waking up nice. Look at that sunshine piling into the passive solar green frame. The dawn redwoods have waken up really nice. It's kind of bright in the background there. Look at the sun coming in with those guys. Japanese maple in the background, lower right and lower left. All waking up nice. Minnesota forest number 2 still in the passive solar green frame. Toby's going to come pick this up and help me take it out in about a week. I think I can leave it outside after that. But we've got some buds. It's waking up. One of my 2 Zelkova forests from last year. This one has a combination Zelkova and some larch. Both waking up nicely. Dave Severson larch. Still slowly but surely waking up for its spring rebirth. After the repot. Check the playlist for that guy. The Dave Severson larch. When sun can be a problem, look at how much sun coming in the PSGF makes it hard to film. But there's the other Zelkova forest on the slabs. But super exposed from all that sunshine. The boxwood over the rock. Got some moss from the cabin on there now. That right there is the juniper that we cut up in a few cuts, a few major cuts. Green tips on there, ready to grow. See the buds coming out on the big one. Also some moss on the bottom. The big one is waking up. And then this spring, we also did the Amory maple. The Amory maple is waking up, shooting up buds up to the sky. And if you look down below too, you can see all the little buds down below there. Going to creep up as well. But we'll cut those back in favor of the high ones. Amory maple, update, doing fine. And now the dream, Bonsai Acres. Some of you know I have some trees locally here in a town just north of me. Got a few trees in the ground, well, 100 or 200 trees in the ground, doing some experimentation. But I want some land of my own. And did I find some? On this spring break, I did manage one small trip. Let's take a look. It's 7:30 in the morning. The glorious sunshine is out, and I'm heading up on a new adventure. It's the next chapter of Bonsai Acres. Bonsai Acres is my bonsai journey. I have a pretty wild and crazy dream that I will own some acreage of land and put a bunch of trees in the ground, and people will come pick from those trees someday. I've been searching for land online for about 2 years now, just getting a sense of what's out there and how far from the metropolitan area that I have to go to be able to afford this dream. Today's one of those, I'm chasing the dream. instead of just dreaming. Because I'm actually going to go look at a piece of land. I've always felt that having some land for my kids and their kids would be a great thing. My father did the same thing. The cabin I go to is leased land. We built that from the ground up, and it's ours for the continuing generations. I have this itch to grab a chunk of land that I can call my own and then share it out. Heading up 35, goes from down in Texas all the way up to Duluth, Minnesota. From the metro area, my thought was if I could find a piece of land about an hour from home, that wouldn't be too unrealistic for people to leave the metro to come visit my tree farm. I can store trees for clients in this area and try to make it work. It's my bonsai journey, and if nothing else, a place for a lot of Shinrin Yoku. I can forest bathe whenever I want to on my property. Working on the passive solar green frame last year, in 2023, that really set my dream into more of a chasing mode. As I experiment with PSGF, I'm learning more about how to care for these trees and what I can do sustainably off-grid. So when I find this chunk of land, I'll be able to create a place that can stand alone. And I don't know if what I look at today will be something I will have in the future, but I'm setting in motion what could be. I'm doing the research so when I dive in, we'll have a fighting chance. The nice thing about 35, it's a straight shot. You never have to stop all the way up to Duluth. We passed several bogs with larch. We got birch tree, poplar trees, pine trees. When you get about halfway up towards Duluth, you come across Hinckley, Minnesota. But when you get to Hinckley, Minnesota, people will pull off at this exit right here. And they'll go grab themselves a really super big and luscious cinnamon roll. So Toby's. Yeah, it's kind of a landmark, this part of the country. No cinnamon rolls for me, we'll continue on. We're over halfway from my plot of possible land. We'll keep driving on. And here we are, an hour and 35 minutes in. Moose Lake exit. Hour and 35 minutes before you exit. That's pretty good, that's pretty quick. Of course, I'm super excited today, so this ride felt like about 25 minutes. It won't feel that way if I were to own this property and come up on a regular basis. But let's check it out. The pavement ends in 2 miles to give you a sense of how far out we are. So my GPS says I'm within a half a mile of the land, and it'll be to the right, south of the road. We are heading east on what I believe is County 8, but they took me a little bit of a roundabout way. This might have been a straighter shot, but let's see what's up ahead. So I've just pulled up to the property. The easement, the road to get in, has not been plowed. According to this new app that I have, the X Hunting app, I'm in the right place too. So time to put on the boots, strap them up, and we're gonna go for a little walk. There we go. Timber Ghost Realty. We are here. We are at a property about an hour and 45 minutes north of my home in the St. Paul area. And it's all posted, but I have permission to be here, so I get to walk on land that I'm not supposed to be on. Look at the poplars. I love this section of the forest right here. This will be gorgeous in the fall. What a beautiful, beautiful section of land. A little messy to the left. It is going downhill, and that's more kind of, again, there is some wetland. That's the biggest concern of this property. Oh, there goes a pheasant. Nope, it's a grouse. Wildlife. Oh my gosh, I just got tingles. So this would be the access road, and the property's to the left or the east. And it's about 6 acres, and it's long and narrow. So it goes that way, but not too far this way. But the benefit of this land is there's 2 adjacent 6-acre plots back to back. And so my concept is, if I like it enough and I were to put an offer in, I'd offer to buy both parcels and bid low. There are 4 properties on the app that show a chunk of land, a chunk of land, a chunk of land, and a chunk of land, long and skinny. And this green flag right here might be the start of the first one. Let's pull out the app and take a peek. So after looking at my tracker app, that indeed is the south end of the first property right there, which means this part I'm walking on now would be the adjacent property. And there is another green piece of material there. So it kind of opens up right here. And there's a deer stand. All right. So this is probably 150 yards from that last spot. I'm gonna go back to where the other flag is, and I'm gonna walk the next distance, and I'm gonna see how far of a walk that is. I walked about another 100 yards in, and it's a real thick, kind of underbrushy type forest. There are some big poplars. That looks like a big, pretty birch right there. Poplars, but a lot of underbrush here that is bent over and messy. It's gonna be a tough thing to clean out. Even to get a couple of paths in here would be a load of work that first year here. But I love all the poplars there looking towards the west. It's nice that there's poplar trees here so it can support trees. But again, I don't know how wet the ground is right below my feet in the springtime. And then all year long, can you have any structures on here? So I just left the poplar area, moved south, and I came across this big poplar, and more importantly, a couple of pines. So it's a good marker right here with these poplars and these pines. It's kind of where the property ends. Unless, of course, I were to get both properties side by side. It is so thick because nothing but deer and grouse and animals come in here. And so no one's really traipsed through here. It's just bent over trees upon bent over trees. And I don't know what made these small trees all bend over, unless it was that storm we had several years ago. But this would be a lot of work to clear out. Well, looky there. That is a big larch tree. I saw these first and thought, hey, maybe those are larch. This has got to be the biggest larch I have ever seen. 3 feet in diameter at least. Look at that branch. Oh, if this was on the property, would this be lovely? Well, I definitely don't have to go to the gym today. I've fallen about a half a dozen times, but of course I've landed on snow. We made it back out to the road. So again, this first section right off the road isn't for sale, but 100 yards in and then that next 150 yards. And my car is way down there, so this gives you an idea. Of course, I have my wide angle lens on, so it looks really big. That was a good workout. First impressions, I was a little nervous to see all the underbrush, lower shrubby, bushy, all bent over, walking through a lot of dead branches, just for the sheer idea that it'd be a really, really big job to clean up some of those areas. The two ends of the land, the far east has the biggest chunk of land, I think, with the trees, the poplars, some pines. I loved the larch and some of the big larch on the property. That's so cool. Those would be beautiful. It's too bad it snowed in the last 3 days, all this snow. I could have been up here with no snow and got a sense of what the land is like beneath my feet. So I'm a little fearful how wet it would be in the spring. But is there a path for me to have certain chunks of the property that could have some stuff on it? But 12 acres, if I could afford it, would provide me more of the land where there's actually land on this side, because I need some land to have something. Like if I pull a trailer back there to sleep in, what's on the back of my mind on all of this land conversation, I can't dig down 6 feet. I'd be in water. So what do people do if they're not going to dig down for a PSGF? Will they build up? So I'd have to buy a couple of truckloads of dirt. Can I grow trees and can I build a greenhouse? Those are the two primary factors for the pros and cons list. Little pit stop in beautiful Moose Lake. Wall-to-wall sunshine, glistening water. Weird to see open water, although it is the end of March. I'll have to talk to the realtor, of course. I think we'll be moving on to the next property. Bottom line, I don't think I can build a greenhouse on this property. I could, but I think it'd be more work than it's worth. Great location. Anything here and south towards the metro would be perfect. But I'd like a little more woods. I want more a wooded feel than a swampy feel. We move on to the next piece of land. Exciting. I can't wait for the next one. Keep track on the website. See what pops up. There you have it, some Shinrin-yoku up north, about an hour and 45 minutes from my place here in the St. Paul area. And what a fun day. It was exciting. It's the first piece of land that I've actually gone and looked at after talking to the realtor. I've been looking for a couple of years online, as I mentioned in the piece. And I'm looking for some very specific things. And I knew this had a little bit too much wetlands, but I wanted to go see the size. I wanted to go put my feet to the ground for 6 acres of land, or if I doubled that one up, 12 acres, and it's a lot of land. 10 acres would be enough. 5 could even be enough, but somewhere between 5 and 10 would have been a great parcel of land if it had more land and less wetland. The larches out there were phenomenal. That big larch, the biggest I've ever been that close to. Phenomenal day, but not meant to be. And that's part of this journey too, being able to know when to say no. I have to know what my limits are. I have to know a whole bunch of things. And we'll get on that journey as it continues. So I hope you stay tuned for more Bonsai Acres episodes, because we'll have some more this year for sure. Out at the farm here, close by, looking at more land. And I'm going to take you along on my bonsai journey as I have from day one. It's all part of my journey, and I love to share it. And I love all the feedback and comments and suggestions from you all. So keep those coming as well. So I hopefully we'll have a few more parcels of land pop up on the internet in the coming months here in 2024. I really would like a piece of land this year or next. The longer I wait, the more it makes me nervous for some of the things I want to do. But I'd like to maybe at least secure the land this year, if not in 2025. So there you have it. A visit up north for a possible bonsai acre spot, not going to happen this time. And until next time, hey, take care of you, take care of your bonsai, and you know what? We're going to catch you very soon.